Hello everyone, it's Wagon here again, and welcome back to my new video. In just one more week for Monster Hunter Rise. So excited. In today's video, I'm going to explain to you guys the mechanics or understanding the monster, or the tutorial. If you're a new player, this is for you. So please watch it. And without further ado, let's get started. First, as a beginner or when you're starting a game, you should change the option by pressing start and navigate to the options and look for the camera. On the very bottom of the camera, you will be able to see the camera distance. You should make it wider because when you're fighting a big monster, you will be able to see it clearly. And then you should change the controls of your radial menu settings to type 2. I will show you to you later how it works. And then press B to exit. When you press L on control, you will be able to see your radial menu. To navigate it, you can use right stick, and to use it, you can press the right stick. Push the right stick if you want to use the item you selected. If you want to change the item to your own references, you can press start, navigate to radial menu settings and quest, and there you will be able to see the shortcut 1, shortcut 2, shortcut 3, shortcut 4, and select any item that you want to change by pressing A, and then you will be able to see which item that you want to put in your radial menu. In here, I'm going to select a sticker, and there you go, I have a shortcut to my sticker. Next, I'm going to talk about target the camera towards the monster by pressing the right stick. If you keep pushing the right stick, it will navigate to different monster. As you can see, there's a yellow box on the Hitzone icon here. And if you press L, it will target the camera towards Hitzone, like that. It's pretty cool features, especially if you're a beginner. So you don't have to worry about angling your camera. It will always look towards the monster. In Monster Hunter game, there are 5 types of damage. One is severing, which is the swords, which can cut the tail of the monster. The second one is blunt, which is the hammer hunting horn. This one can stun the monster and exhaust it. The third one is projectile, which is bow gun and bow. And the fourth one is elemental damage type, which is fire, thunder, ice, water, and dragon. And the other one is abnormal status effect, which is I will talk about this later on. Damage type are useful when looking for the weakest part of the monster. Press start, navigate to info, select hunter notes, select large monster, and you will be able to see the characteristic of the monster. And then in the full game, you will be able to see the fully weakest part of the monster, like head, foreleg, abdomen, back of the monster, the tail of the monster. And see, look, there's a severing, blunt, projectile, and elemental damage there. The higher the number indicates the weakest part of the monster. So if you hit the head of the monster using severing damage, you will deal 55% more damage to the monster. Now let's talk about the sharpness in the game. Sharpness only used by the melee weapon like greatsword, longsword, hammer, and etc. Sharpness comes with a different level. Red level is the lower tier, and the white level is the highest tier. It comes with advantage because the highest your sharpness, the more stronger it is. There's a multiplier. The white one is times 30% more damage. If you keep hitting the monster using your melee weapon, you lose your sharpness. And once it becomes lower tier colored level, your sharpness will become dull and it will bounce when hitting the monster. So the best strategy here is to sharpness your weapon using whetstone. You can use your palamute to sharpen your weapon while moving, because if you sharpen your weapon on the ground, you will become vulnerable to the monster and you might die when he attacks you, because you cannot move while sharpening on the ground. Just remember this, the highest tier your sharpness level, the more damage you will dealt to the monster. Moving on the ranged weapon, there's this thing called critical distance. If you're too far from the monster, you will deal 1 damage, but if you're in the right distance, you will deal your full damage. You will notice it if you are in the right distance by looking at your crosshair when you're aiming, and if you're too far, you will see a difference. Like there's a yellow. If you're in the right distance, there's an orange crosshair, and if you're too far, it will become like a yellow crosshair. As a bow gun, you should aim at the weakest part of the monster because you can totally aim in the head, in the back, or in the tail. Not like everywhere. Just focus on whatever the hunter knows projectile weakest part in the monster. Yes, that's right. If you know yourself, you know your weapon, and you know the enemy, you will kill the monster. So, mastering your weapon is a really must if you wanna kill monster efficiently. So, I will guide you on how to master your weapon. I'm not doing every weapon tutorial. I'm just gonna show you on what to be looking out in order to master your weapon. But first, let's dive in on using Wirebug Maneuvering. So, you can climb a wall, you can do Spider-Man thing easily. Now, let's dive in. When you jump on the edge of the cliff, you can have an option to press A and hang in the air using your Wirebug. And from there, in that state, you can press B to jump backward, forward, or any stick direction you input. If you press ZL plus A, your character will zip forward towards your character direction. If you press ZL plus X, your character will zip forward vertically toward your character direction. You can also aim by pressing ZL and then ZR to zip forward in what you're aiming. If you press A while in the air, you can hang over there for 5 seconds. That state, you can move forward by pressing B. Zipping into the wall will give you the ability to run forward into the wall, but it will cost you stamina. And then it will jump if you don't have stamina, and then you can hang there and then wait for recovery in your stamina and zip again. My favorite part of zipping vertically is that You can have the ability to throw a barrel bomb or mega barrel bomb while in the air, but you will get caught if it touched the explosion. But there's a solution for that. You can just back away by pressing B, or move forward by pressing B to dodge the explosion. If you get knocked down by the monster attack and you want to get up quickly, you can do it by pressing ZL and then B. Let's move on how to train and master your weapon. You should experiment your weapon and look for the move that has an iframe. Number 2, does it have super armor? Number 3, does it have counter attack? Number 4, does it have a shield you can block? Number 5, does it have repositioning? And lastly, the most important is knowing your big damage move, because if the opportunity is given, you want to use it quickly and deal a lot of big damage to the monster. Later on, I will show you how to create a chance and opportunity using traps and status abnormal effect to the monster, so that you can hunt a monster efficiently and help your friends hunting a monster. And lastly, every weapon has an iframe. If you put away your weapon, move away from the monster and sprint, you will have a different running animation. And then if you press B, you will do a Superman dive. During that animation, you won't be able to take any damage. Knowing that is really helpful so that you can dodge roar or any type of attack. When choosing your main weapon, you need to know that the slowest the animation, the bigger the attack you were dealt. The fastest the animation, the smaller attack you will deal. Before you can create opportunity to deal big damage, first you need to understand the monster. When a monster is engaged in combat for a while, it can enter rage mode. In rage, monster can become more aggressive, their heart rate increases, their attack patterns may change, and they can access new attacks. Some monster weak spot change when in rage. Monster require stamina to perform attacks, and stronger attacks require more stamina. Monster can also recover stamina, but they can only do so when they eat other creature. Attacking monster with blunt damage weapon like hammer will exhaust monster stamina. When the monster doesn't have any more stamina, they are slower. They may fail to perform certain attacks. They may also stop moving temporarily to recover their breath. When a monster is near death, it will limp and return to its nest to recover some health. Dying monster can be captured by using trap and tranquilizer. Monster can also be inflicted by status ailment like poison, paralysis, sleep, stun, exhausted, blast, and blind. Status ailments can create a big opportunity to deal big damage. For example, sleeping. If the monster is doing the sleeping animation, everyone should stop attacking because when the monster is sleeping, the first hit will become double damage. Like in the video, I put the bomb there, and then usually it deals 80 damage, but when he is sleeping, it will become double, so it will deal 160 damage. Blast will always deal 100 pure damage. The poison will damage the monster over time for 60 seconds. Paralysis will paralyze the monster. This is a good chance to do the big damage. And this will last for 10 seconds. Stun will knock out the monster. This also lasts 10 seconds or depending on the monster weaknesses. This is another chance for big damage. When the monster is exhausted, you can trap him and then the trap duration will increase from 10 seconds to 15 seconds depending on the monster weaknesses. You can use Flashbang to interrupt monster attack, or if the monster is flying, you can trap him by using Flashbang. Flashbang will blind the monster if the monster have eyes. You can use Sonic Bomb if the monster is sensitive to hearing. Another opportunity to deal big damage is trapping the monster by using Shock Trap and Pitfall. Except for Elder Dragons, they cannot be trapped. If you do Wyvern Ride and you saw no one else other than you can wallbang the monster by pressing Y and then B to cancel it, and wallbang it again by pressing Y until you run out of Wirebug. If you ride your target monster and there's another monster beside your target, you should wallbang him first, and then when you're running out of Wirebug, ram him into another monster so that you can ride another monster. To attack using monster, press X or left stick back X and then left stick back A or just A. When you are done attacking, you will be able to see the bar below. That means you can have an option to do the finisher. But before that, you should keep attacking and then at the very end, do the finisher to optimize your damage output. Big damage. You should also need to understand that monster can be knocked down, flinch, you can break their parts, and you can trip them. If the monster has 2 legs, you can trip them by attacking a single leg like Raytheon here. And then if you want to knock them down, always hit the head like Hitzone. I knock him down just by attacking the head. By pitching, if you attack them constantly, they will flinch, or you can use flashbang. You can deal more damage if you break some parts of the monster, but not every monster does that. Only a few of them. But if you break parts of the monster, you will be given more rewards in the quest. Endemic Life can also create opportunity for you to do the big damage. For example, the Blast Toad. If you place down the Blast Toad, the monster will get knocked down like that by Hitzone, and then followed by big damage. You can use Thunder Beetle so that you can stun the monster using severe damage even if you're using sword type weapon. You can get only up to 5 Endemic Life in your inventory. To search for Endemic Life or flashbang or any other materials, just press start and then go to detailed map by pressing Y, and then you can see the icon on the map. If you press X, you will be able to identify what item do you want to get, like other Endemic Life, materials 1, materials 2. You will be able to see everything. And then if you want to pinpoint an item, just press A. There you go. Pressing A, and then if you go to the map, it will be easier to find it, the item that you selected, and then reach it by going there. There you go. And that's it for my video. I hope you enjoy it and you learned something. Please leave a like and subscribe down below. And maybe I will make part 2 when the games comes out. And that's it. Peace and happy hunting. Bye.